Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to explore the top 4 most valuable Kennedy half-dollar coins from the United States of America. These coins have a fascinating history and are some of the most sought-after treasures in the coin collecting and investing world. We'll be looking at Kennedy half-dollars with rare mint errors, special silver issues, and unique color shades that make them truly stand out. These coins are not just currency. They are pieces of American history, and some of them are worth far more than their face value. So, if you're a coin enthusiast or someone who appreciates the beauty and significance of U.S. currency, this video is definitely for you. Backhand index pointing right. Let's get started with our first coin. The Kennedy half-dollar minted in 1976, marked with a Denver D mint stamp, holds a unique place in the grand story of American coinage. Struck to honor the nation's bicentennial, it carries the dual date 1776 to 1976 on its face, reminding us of the 200 years of independence and the sacrifices that forged the United States. But beyond its commemorative role, the silver-clad versions of this coin rise into the realm of treasures, and in the rarest forms, they are said to be capable of changing lives overnight. The beauty of this coin is unmistakable. On the obverse, John F. Kennedy's confident profile symbolizes hope, courage, and the vision of a president who inspired generations. The reverse, specially designed for bicentennial, shows Independence Hall in Philadelphia, a structure that stands as the birthplace of freedom. To see such history and symbolism preserved in silver is to hold not just money, but a monument in miniature. Now imagine, instead of being made with the usual copper-nickel alloy, you discover a 40% silver bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar. Its shine is sharper, its weight subtly different, and its aura undeniably more powerful. Such a coin already commands respect, but imagine an error, an anomaly, or a proof strike that somehow escaped into circulation. That piece of silver could carry a value not just in hundreds or thousands, but in millions, because rarity combined with history ignites unimaginable demand. The 1976 D. Kennedy half-dollar is more than a coin. It is a key to unlocking stories of America's past. Collectors chase it for its role in the bicentennial celebrations, but investors hunger for the version struck in silver. They know that silver is not just a metal, but a store of wealth, a timeless reminder of prosperity. To own one of these coins in pristine condition is to own a bridge between artistry, patriotism, and fortune. Think about the scene of discovery. An old coin roll stored away by a grandfather or a forgotten jar of half-dollars in an attic. You sift through them without expectation. But then, one coin gleams brighter, heavier, more commanding. The D mint mark glints proudly, and the silver luster whispers of rarity. In that instant, your destiny shifts. You are no longer holding loose change. You are holding the possibility of a multi-million-dollar fortune. At auction, the unveiling of such a coin would be electric. Collectors would gather, media outlets would spread the story, and the world would watch as bids soar to unthinkable levels. A silver bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar rare variety could break records, surpassing even legendary coins. The buyer would walk away with a piece of American glory, while the finder would step into unimaginable wealth. Condition, as always, amplifies the legend. A well-worn silver half-dollar still commands respect, but one preserved in mint state, shimmering as if untouched since 1976, elevates itself into the realm of priceless. The sharp details of Kennedy's profile and the intricate design of Independence Hall, etched on silver, would mesmerize all who gaze upon it. It is art, history, and treasure all in one. But the coin's value is not only in dollars. It lies in symbolism. The Kennedy half-dollar represents resilience, honor, and remembrance of both a fallen president and a nation celebrating freedom. Its silver form transforms it into a beacon of permanence, a promise that history and sacrifice never fade. To possess such a coin is to own a talisman of America's enduring story. For ordinary people, this coin is more than collectible. It is a vessel of possibility. It proves that fortune can hide in everyday objects, that what looks like pocket change may secretly hold the power to change everything. This sense of mystery makes collectors search tirelessly, and it keeps the dream alive that anyone, anywhere, can stumble upon a hidden treasure. Imagine telling the story of such a discovery, how you found a silver 1976 D. Kennedy half-dollar in a dusty box, how experts confirmed its rarity, and how it transformed your life overnight. That story would echo across generations, inspiring dreamers, collectors, and treasure hunters everywhere. You would become part of numismatic legend, your name forever tied to the discovery of a coin that rewrote history. The market for these coins is more than economics. It is passion. It is storytelling. It is the endless chase for beauty and rarity. A silver Kennedy half-dollar from Bicentennial, especially one carrying the Denver Mint mark in exceptional form, embodies that chase like few others. It is a fusion of metal and meaning, of past and future, of ordinary change and extraordinary wealth. So, if ever you hold a 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar with a D Mint mark, look closely, feel its weight, study its luster, and never dismiss it as just another coin. Because hidden in its silver sheen might be not only a fortune measured in millions, but also the power to change your destiny in a single heartbeat. This coin, rare and extraordinary, is a silent promise that history still hides miracles for those bold enough to notice. Next up, the Kennedy half-dollar minted in 1980 with a D Mint mark carries with it not only the story of American coinage, but also the hidden possibility of extraordinary fortune. At first glance, many dismiss the coins from this era as common, since millions were struck at the Denver Mint. But among these coins, there are select versions, unique errors, and silver-toned rarities that set them apart from ordinary pocket change. To those who understand, the 1980 D Kennedy half-dollar is not just a coin. It's a sleeping giant of value, waiting for the right moment to reveal its power. The design itself is iconic. On the obverse, John F. Kennedy's determined profile radiates with timeless strength, a portrait that symbolizes courage and vision. The reverse proudly displays the presidential seal, an eagle gripping arrows and olive branches, a constant reminder of America's balance of war and peace. Together, these images transcend mere currency, transforming the half-dollar into a piece of history that millions wanted to hold on to, and yet few ever realized could one day carry unimaginable wealth. What makes the 1980 D half-dollar especially captivating is the presence of rare varieties. While most were minted in standard copper-nickel composition, collectors whisper coins struck in error. Those that somehow bear the sheen of silver or carry a misstrike so rare that their value skyrockets. If such a coin is found, it is not valued in small amounts but in millions, because rarity combined with historic symbolism ignites the fiercest bidding wars among collectors worldwide. Consider the silver appearance that some of these coins display. To the untrained eye, it may look like a mere shine, but to a collector, it hints at something extraordinary. Was it a planchet mix-up at the Denver Mint? Was a silver blank accidentally used during production? If confirmed, this transforms a simple half-dollar into a unique masterpiece worth more than most people could imagine. Picture the scene of discovery. You're sifting through old change, perhaps coins passed down by a family member, and there it is, the 1980 D Kennedy half-dollar glimmering differently from the rest. Its weight feels heavier, its sound sharper when dropped, its surface brighter. That moment is not just one of curiosity, but of destiny. For in your palm could rest a multi-million-dollar treasure capable of rewriting your life overnight. At auctions, stories like these shake the numismatic world. Imagine the bidding room when such a coin is unveiled. Whispers ripple through the crowd. Collectors lean forward, and the auctioneer's voice rises as bids climb higher and higher. What starts in thousands soon becomes hundreds of thousands, and then millions. And when the gavel finally falls, history is made, not only for the coin, but also for the lucky soul who once thought it was just loose change. But the coin's significance goes beyond money. The Kennedy half-dollar series was born in 1964, a nation's tribute to a president whose life was cut short. By 1980, Kennedy's image had become a permanent part of American culture, and coins like the 1980 D carried that legacy forward. To own such a coin is to carry with you the weight of history, the spirit of resilience, and the dream of greatness. Condition is everything when it comes to unlocking unimaginable value. A worn coin might fetch respect, but a pristine mint stay example, with every detail of Kennedy's hair and the eagle's wings crisp and sharp, ascends to another level entirely. Combine that condition with rarity or error, and you hold in your hands something beyond price, something legendary. The magic of coins like the 1980 D. Kennedy half dollar is that they hide in plain sight. They sit quietly in collections, jars, or forgotten drawers, waiting for the right eyes to recognize their brilliance. This mystery fuels the passion of collectors everywhere. The belief that a fortune could be discovered in the most ordinary of places. Owning such a coin is not merely about wealth. It's about legacy. Imagine passing down a multi-million-dollar Kennedy half dollar to your children or grandchildren, not just as money, but as a symbol of perseverance, luck, and history. Such a coin becomes a story told at family gatherings, a reminder that fortune favors those who pay attention to details. And above all, this coin symbolizes opportunity. It reminds us that life-changing moments often hide where we least expect them, and that something as simple as a half dollar can carry within it the power to shift destinies. The 1980 D. Kennedy half dollar, rare in its most valuable forms, stands as proof that miracles of fortune and history can fit within the palm of your hand. So, if ever you come across a 1980 D. Kennedy half dollar, do not dismiss it. Hold it up to the light. Feel its weight. Study its shine. Because in that coin may lie not just silver, not just history, but the power to turn your life into a story of unimaginable wealth. The kind of story that transforms ordinary people into legends overnight. Next up, the Kennedy half dollar of 1964 without a mint mark is not just a coin. It is a monument, a tribute, a piece of silver that resonates with the heartbeat of a grieving nation. When President John F. Kennedy was tragically assassinated in 1963, the U.S. Mint moved swiftly to honor his memory. By 1964, the first Kennedy half dollars rolled off the presses, struck in 90% silver. Among these, the Philadelphia issues bore no mint mark, and they quickly became more than mere change. They became national treasures. What gives the 1964 no mint mark Kennedy half dollar such extraordinary power is its combination of history and metal. Silver in itself has enduring value, but when poured into the form of a coin that immortalizes a fallen president, its worth transcends a market. To collectors and investors alike, the coin embodies both tangible wealth and intangible sentiment. In its rarest forms, it is capable of commanding sums that rise into the unimaginable, even millions, when conditions strike and story align. The obverse of the coin, with Kennedy's portrait, captures his youthful determination. Every line of his hair, every contour of his face speaks to the optimism of an era cut short. The reverse, the heraldic eagle clutching arrows and olive branches, reinforces strength and peace, reminding Americans of both the challenges Kennedy faced and the ideals he carried. This artistry, struck into precious silver, elevates the 1964 issue into one of the most emotionally charged coins ever minted. Now, imagine finding such a coin, not tarnished and worn, but gleaming, untouched, preserved as though time itself had been paused. In high-grade condition, the no-mint mark Kennedy half dollar becomes a rarity of the highest order. Grading services label such pieces as gem or proof-like, and when these come auction, the bidding is nothing short of electrifying. Collectors from around the globe battle fiercely for ownership, driving prices into staggering territory. But there is more than condition at play. Errors and varieties, double strikes, accented hair-proof versions, misstruck planchets, turn an already historic coin into something utterly unique. A 1964 Kennedy half dollar with such traits is not just rare, it is one of a kind. And when something is one of a kind, it transcends normal valuations because its worth is no longer tied to markets. It is tied to desire, to prestige, to legacy. Consider the silver itself. Each 1964 half dollar contains nearly 3/4 of an ounce of pure silver, and in times of economic uncertainty, silver shines even brighter. Yet its bullion value is only the foundation. The true brilliance lies in the story layered upon the metal. When collectors hold this coin, they hold not just silver, but the collective memory of a nation stunned by loss, yet determined to honor a leader who inspired millions. The magic of the 1964 Kennedy half dollar is also in its timing. It was the first year of issue, and the only year struck in 90% silver for circulation. That alone sets it apart. After 1964, silver content was reduced, making this first-year issue the purest expression of Kennedy's memorial coinage. To many, owning one is not optional. It is essential. And when something becomes essential in the world of numismatics, its value ascends to legendary heights. Picture the scene in an auction hall when a flawless 1964 no-mint Mark Kennedy half-dollar appears. The air tightens. The crowd leans forward. The auctioneer calls out the first bid. What begins as thousands swiftly multiplies into tens of thousands, then hundreds of thousands, until the final hammer strikes. At that moment, the coin ceases to be currency. It becomes history encapsulated in silver, history that carries with it the power to make fortunes overnight. For those fortunate enough to stumble upon one, the discovery is life-altering. It may have been sitting in an old family drawer, a dusty jar, or tucked inside a forgotten collection. The moment of recognition, when you realize you are holding the 1964 no-mint Mark half-dollar in pristine silver, is the moment destiny itself whispers in your ear. Your fortune has arrived. This coin is not just wealth. It is a bridge between past and future. To own it is to inherit the responsibility of preserving memory and passing on legacy. It is a reminder that value lies not only in precious metals, but in the stories we cherish and the leaders we honor. The Kennedy half-dollar crystallizes both. Above all, the 1964 no-mint Mark Kennedy half-dollar symbolizes hope reborn from tragedy. It carries the power to change your life overnight, yes, but it also carries the power to remind you of resilience, unity, and the enduring shine of history. In its silver luster lies the possibility of fortune, but also the certainty of meaning. So if you ever hold this coin, hold it carefully. Do not spend it casually. Do not undervalue it. For in your hand you possess not only a piece of American silver, but a vessel of fortune, memory, and power, something capable of transforming you into a legend in the world of coin collecting and beyond. Next up, the Kennedy half-dollar has always been a coin that speaks louder than its value. It is not just 50 cents of currency. It is a living reminder of history, pride, and legacy. Among its many issues, the 1991 Philadelphia Mint coin has gained a reputation for holding a kind of hidden aura. Though at first glance it may seem ordinary, there are tales in the world of numismatics that certain pieces of this very mintage are far from average. Collectors whisper about rare silver-struck errors, pristine uncirculated examples, and special anomalies that could transform this half-dollar into an item worth millions. Imagine holding a simple coin in your hand, its surface reflecting the profile of John F. Kennedy. To the untrained eye, it is just another piece of change. But in the numismatic world, that very coin could be a golden ticket, a silent guardian of unimaginable wealth. It carries the weight of history and the potential to change a person's life overnight. This is the magic that surrounds the 1991 Kennedy half-dollar with its subtle P mint mark. The obverse still shines with Kennedy's dignified profile, capturing his youthful determination and vision for the nation. On the reverse, the proud eagle spreads its wings, a reminder of strength, liberty, and the American dream. When this coin is preserved in flawless condition, untouched by time or circulation, it becomes a relic of beauty as much as a piece of history. Collectors pay handsomely for such perfection, with some willing to drive the price into the stratosphere for that one coin that surpasses the rest. And here lies the heart of the story, the idea that one small error, one unexpected strike, can create a rarity unlike any other. In 1991, as with many mint runs, coins were struck in the millions. But sometimes in those millions, a handful emerged different, perhaps struck on a silver planchet, or missing a detail, or gleaming with a proof-like finish that should never have left the mint. Those are the coins that ignite bidding wars, pushing values into the millions, and those are the coins that make dreams come true. Picture yourself walking into an auction hall, holding such a coin in your pocket. The room falls silent as the bidding begins. A collector raises her hand, then another, then another. The numbers climb higher. The crowd grows restless. The air becomes electric. By the time the hammer falls, you are no longer holding a coin worth 50 cents. You are holding a piece of treasure that has rewritten your destiny. This is why experts caution: never underestimate the coins in your collection. The 1991 Kennedy half-dollar with a Philadelphia Mint mark may be passed over by those who only see it as pocket change, but to the wise, it holds a secret. Every year, stories emerge of collectors discovering fortune in the most unexpected places. in a jar of loose change, in a forgotten drawer, even in a coin inherited from a relative. The coin's value does not rest only in silver or copper. Its true worth lies in its rarity, its condition, and the story it tells. That story is one of resilience. Kennedy's legacy immortalized, America's history stamped in metal, and the thrill of discovery that turns collectors into treasure hunters. With each 1991 half-dollar examined, there's a possibility, however small, that it could be the one. For investors, this coin symbolizes something even greater. It demonstrates how value can be hidden in plain sight, how wealth can come not from chasing what everyone sees, but from recognizing what others overlook. A coin like this is both asset and artwork, both history and hope, both currency and dream. It is a reminder that fortune does not always arrive in grand packages. It sometimes hides in your palm. And for the dreamers, the allure of the 1991 Kennedy half-dollar is irresistible. To imagine that something so small could change your fortune overnight gives fuel to the imagination. It proves that life is full of hidden opportunities, waiting for those who dare to look closer, those who believe in the possibility of finding treasure where others see none. If you have one of these coins, guard it closely. Do not rush to trade it for face value, or even a modest collector's price. For you might be holding the very coin that could elevate you from ordinary to extraordinary, from average to billionaire. The potential of this coin is as limitless as the dreams of those who chase it. The Kennedy half-dollar of 1991, with its Philadelphia Mint mark, is not merely a coin. It is a promise that fortune exists where you least expect it, a promise that history can turn a treasure, a promise that your life can change with something as small as a piece of metal. Hold on to that promise, and it may one day become reality, because sometimes destiny is not written in stars. Sometimes destiny is written in coins. And if fate smiles upon you, the 1991 Kennedy half-dollar could be the key that unlocks the treasure chest of your future.